Hi, my name is Santosh Balasubramanian. I'm a program manager in SQL Server. I'm here to talk to you about how you can achieve the highest level of SLA for your mission-critical applications using our new high availability and disaster recovery solution, AlwaysOn. With AlwaysOn, you can set up your complex high availability and disaster recovery topologies in a single solution. You will also be able to effectively use all investments procured for your high availability and disaster recovery solution. All right, let's jump into a business scenario. Say your organization comes to you and says, we want the highest level of SLAs for our business critical application. We want protection against unplanned downtime, we want data protection, and we also want a disaster recovery plan. With previous versions of SQL Server, you could achieve these goals using database mirroring for local HA and log shipping for DR, or something like SQL Server failover cluster instance for local HA and mirroring or log shipping for DR. Let me show you how you can achieve all of these goals using our new high availability and disaster recovery solution in SQL Server 2012 AlwaysOn. All right, let's jump into the demo. I have 4 servers for my high availability and disaster recovery topology. AlwaysOn SRV2 and AlwaysOn SRV3 are going to be a part of my local HA. AlwaysOn SRV4 is going to be a part of my regional HA, and AlwaysOn SRV5 is going to be my disaster recovery site. I'm going to create an AlwaysOn availability group to achieve my single integrated solution. To do that, I right-click on AlwaysOn High Availability, select the new Availability Group wizard, click Next, specify a name for my availability group. Next, select all the databases that is going to be a part of my AlwaysOn availability group. Here, I'm selecting both the databases my application depends on. In previous versions of SQL Server, with things such as database mirroring, you could only select one database. But with AlwaysOn availability groups, you can have a set of databases which can be in an availability group, which can fail over together as a single unit. All right? So let me jump into defining the topology. I was using the word servers, but I'm going to start using the word replicas from now on. That is what we use in our AlwaysOn availability groups terminology. I can have 5 replicas in my availability group. One of the replicas is my primary replica, which has my read-write applications coming to it. 4 of the replicas could be my secondary replicas. Out of these 4 replicas, 2 of them can be synchronous, where I can protect my data. All right, so I am going to add my local HA replica. I want this to be synchronous with the primary, and I want data to be protected here, as well as I want this to be an automatic failover pair. So in case my primary goes down due to hardware errors, software errors, network errors, any of these reasons, we automatically recover on the secondary replica. Now I'm going to add my regional HA replica, and I want to protect my data here as well. So this is another new functionality with AlwaysOn availability groups. You can have multiple secondaries. In database mirroring, you could have had only a single mirror. And I can protect data across 2 of my multiple secondaries. Now I'm going to go and add my DR site. This will be asynchronous. However, even though it is asynchronous, we are continuously sending logs from the primary to this asynchronous secondary. So you have more data protection than what you had previously with log shipping in DR. So this is my whole topology that I've defined in a single integrated solution. Now I'm going to set up the listener. The listener is what you use in your application connection string in order to connect to the primary. The primary can be on one of the 5 replicas. However, with the listener, you just need to define that in your application, and your application will directly connect to the primary irrespective of which subnet your primary resides in. In order to do that, I'm going to select Create an Availability Group Listener, enter a listener name, enter a port, and I'm just going to select DHCP here and click Next. The next thing is data synchronization. This is basically seeding your secondaries with the databases from your primaries. We are giving you the option to do this in multiple ways. A, with full, you can back up the database on your primary and restore all of these databases on each of the secondaries. Or you might have already seeded the databases on your secondaries, and you can use the join only option in order to connect your databases from the secondaries to the primary. Or you could say that I just want to create my availability group and I want to skip the data synchronization at this point. For purposes of this demo, I have already seeded the databases on my secondaries, and I'm going to use the join only option. So I select the option, click Next. We go through a step of validations, and then we show you what are we actually doing here, and click Finish. And here we are creating our availability group. I'm doing this using the wizard, but I could also do this using DDL, I could do this using PowerShell, and a lot of other options that we can do to create your availability group. Right now, we are creating the availability group listener, joining the secondaries, joining the databases, and here we have created our availability group. Let me show you guys the dashboard. I select Show Dashboard. The dashboard is a single place from where you can see the health of your availability group, the health of all the replicas in your availability group, and all the databases which are in each of these replicas. So I've shown you how to achieve all your high availability and disaster recovery goals using the single always-on solution without making any application changes. Also, how to utilize all investments procured for this solution. Thank you very much for watching through these demos. If you want to learn more about AlwaysOn, please look through our online documentation or training videos. I also highly recommend watching the other features released with SQL Server 2012 through the virtual launch event site.